Listen up, Rams fam. This is not a drill. This is the moment we've been waiting for. The moment that's been 17 years in the making, and it's happening right now in front of our eyes. Matthew Stafford, our guy, our leader, our Super Bowl champion quarterback is absolutely dominating the MVP race. And if you're not paying attention, you're missing something truly special, because what we're witnessing is nothing short of legendary. Let me paint the picture for you real quick, because this is insane. Stafford just dropped 5 touchdowns on the Jaguars in London, absolutely torched them 35-7, and he did it without Puka Nacua on the field. Let that sink in for a second. Our QB1 is so locked in right now that he's putting up video game numbers even when one of his top weapons is sidelined with an injury. The man is leading the entire NFL with 17 touchdown passes. You heard that right, 17. And we're only at the bye week. That's just 3 fewer than what he threw in the entire 2024 season. The efficiency is off the charts. The precision is surgical. This is peak Matthew Stafford, and it's beautiful to watch. Here's what makes this even more special for those of us who've been riding with Staff since he came to LA 4 years ago. This veteran quarterback who hoisted the Lombardi Trophy for us back in that magical Super Bowl run has absolutely nothing left to prove, but he's out here proving it anyway, because that's just who he is. That's the mentality. That's the culture Sean McVay has built, and Stafford embodies it perfectly. Davante Adams, who just joined our squad and has played with elite quarterbacks before, can't stop talking about how chill Staff is, how his demeanor in pressure situations is unlike anything he's seen. And when a receiver of Adams' caliber is saying that you know it's real, you know we've got something special under center, the numbers don't lie. Rams Nation, and right now the numbers are screaming MVP. Stafford sitting at 1,866. Passing yards, which is 3rd in the entire league. His passer rating of 109. 3 is also 3rd among quarterbacks who've played the full season. And get this, it's on track to be the best rating of his entire 17-year career. We're talking about a guy who's been in this league since 2009, and he's playing the best football of his life right now at 37 years old. Only 2 interceptions against 17 touchdowns. That's the kind of ball security and decision-making that wins championships. That's the kind of quarterback play that gets you hardware at the end of the season. What makes this MVP push even sweeter is that Stafford is doing it for a winning team. We're 5-2 heading into the bye week. We're legitimate Super Bowl contenders on both sides of the ball. The defense is playing lights out. The offense is humming like a well-oiled machine. And honestly, the only blemish on our record is that overtime disaster against a depleted 49ers team. But even in that loss, Stafford threw for 389 yards and 3 touchdowns. The man did everything he could to get us that W. If we had held on in that game, we'd be sitting at the top of the NFC with the best record outright. Think about that for a second. We're that close to being the best team in the conference. Now let's talk about why this matters so much beyond just this season, beyond just the MVP race. This is about legacy. This is about Hall of Fame credential. This is about finally giving Matthew Stafford the recognition he deserves after being stuck in Detroit for 12 seasons watching Calvin Johnson be the only bright spot on terrible teams that never won a single playoff game. The talent was always there, the arm strength, the accuracy, the leadership, the toughness, all of it was there. But he didn't have the pieces around him. He didn't have a coach like McVay who believed in him with that singular focus and dedication. Sean McVay saw what Stafford could be in the right system. And over the past 5 years, they've proven that vision was absolutely correct. They won us a Super Bowl, and now they're making another run at glory. Mike LaFleur, our offensive coordinator, gets to work with Stafford every single day, and he's talking about how fortunate he feels to hang with him, to see what kind of person he is off the field, on top of all the incredible things he does on the field. That's the kind of teammate you want. That's the kind of leader you build a franchise around. LaFleur also said something that should make every Rams fan smile. He said, anyone in the most business who really watches football has always appreciated Matthew Stafford. And isn't that the truth? The people who know football, the coaches, the analysts who break down film, they've always known how special Staff is. It's just taken the casual fans and the national media way too long to catch up. The connection between Stafford and his receivers is absolutely electric right now. He's got that formidable chemistry with Puka Nacua that we all fell in love with last season. And now he's building something special with Davante Adams too. Imagine being a defensive coordinator trying to scheme against that trio. It's a nightmare scenario, and we're loving every second of it. Stafford knows McVay's playbook inside and out. After 5 years together, there's no confusion, no hesitation, just pure execution, play after play after play. That's what happens when you have that level of familiarity between quarterback and coach. That's what separates good offense from great one. Let's be real for a second about what we're watching here. Matthew Stafford is 37 years old, and he's in the thick of his first legitimate MVP race. Think about how wild that is. The 9th leading passer in NFL history, 394 touchdown passes, which is also 9th all-time. And he's only been to the Pro Bowl twice in his entire career. Only finished in the top 10 in MVP voting once before this season when he came in 8th in 2023. That's criminal. That's a massive oversight by the voters and the league. But this year is different. This year the performance is too good to ignore. The wins are piling up. The highlight plays are everywhere you look. Sean McVay doesn't care about stats, and we love that about him. He cares about efficiency, snap in and snap out. He cares about moving the ball and scoring points and putting the team in position to win. And by every measure, Stafford is excelling at all of it. McVay sees how staff is recognizing coverage, reading defenses with his feet, throwing with accuracy and anticipation, playing exactly the way they believe he's capable of playing. When your head coach is that confident in you and you're delivering at this level, it creates this perfect storm of success. The back injury that kept Stafford out for the first 3.5 weeks of training camp hasn't been an issue at all this fall. He's healthy. He's renegotiated his contract in the past 2 off-seasons, so he's content with his situation. And while he hasn't decided exactly how much longer he wants to keep grinding through this punishing sport, right now he's focused on one thing and one thing only: playing elite football for a Super Bowl contender. That's the mindset we need. That's the focus that wins champion. And with the way he's playing right now, keeping it up seems almost inevitable. Here's something else to consider for all the legacy. Stafford already has a Super Bowl ring, while recent MVP winners like Lamar Jackson, Matt Ryan, and Cam Newton don't have one. That ring matters. It matters for Hall of Fame voting. It matters for how history remembers you. And if Stafford can add an MVP trophy to go along with that Super Bowl champion, his Canton credentials become absolutely undeniable. A top finish in the MVP balloting this season would be huge for his Hall of Fame case. And honestly, after watching him carry the Lions for over a decade and then come to LA and win us a Super Bowl, he deserves every bit of recognition coming his way. Mike LaFleur said he never takes for granted the moments he gets with Stafford, because who knows how long he wants to keep playing. But from everyone's vantage point, they all agree he can go as long as he wants, because he's playing some seriously good football right now. And more importantly, he's enjoying it. You can see it on the field. You can see it in the way he interacts with his teammates. This isn't a guy going through the motions. This is a veteran quarterback at the peak of his powers, having the time of his life. The efficiency numbers are staggering. The touchdown to interception ratio is elite. The leadership is unquestioned. The wins are piling up, and the offense is clicking on all cylinders. This is everything we could have hoped for coming into the season, and so much more. Every week, Stafford is proving why McVay believed in him, why we traded for him, why we gave him that contract extension. He's validating every decision the organization made, and he's doing it with that chill demeanor that makes it all look effortless, even though we know how much work goes into it. Rams Nation, we need to appreciate what we're watching, because this doesn't happen often. A quarterback in his 17th season playing the best football of his career, leading an MVP race for the first time, commanding a Super Bowl contender with total confidence and control. This is special. This is rare. This is the kind of season that gets remembered decades from now. Whether or not he actually wins the MVP award, and honestly, he absolutely should if he keeps this up. Just being in the conversation at this level is a testament to his greatness. The fact that Stafford deflects praise and refuses to make it about himself, always highlighting his teammates and coaches, that just makes us love him even more. Because he gets it. He understands it's a team sport. He knows the offensive line is protecting him. The receivers are making plays. The running game is keeping defense honest. But make no mistake, he's the conductor of this symphony, and he's doing it masterfully. The way he's reading defenses, the anticipation on his throws, the touch on deep ball, the zip on intermediate routes. Everything is working right now, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. We're only at the bye week, and Stafford already has 17 touchdowns. If he maintains anywhere close to this pace, he's going to shatter 40 touchdowns for the season. He's going to have one of the best statistical seasons of his entire career, and he's going to do it while leading this team deep into the playoffs. The supporting cast around him is fantastic. Puka Nacua is a stud. Davante Adams brings that veteran presence and elite route running. The offensive line is giving him time. The run game with Kyren Williams keeps defenses honest. Everything is aligned for continued success. That London game against Jacksonville was the perfect example of what this offense can do when it's firing on all cylinders. 5 touchdown passes, 35 points on the board, complete domination from start to finish. And again, this was without Puka Nacua in the lineup. That's depth. That's coaching. That's a quarterback who can distribute the ball to multiple receivers and make everyone around him better. When your QB can put up those kinds of numbers, even when missing a key weapon, that's when you know you've got something truly special. That's MVP caliber football right there. The only thing that kept us from having the best record in the NFC outright was that San Francisco game, and even that was fluky. Even that came down to overtime. Even that featured Stafford throwing for nearly 400 yards and 3 scores. On any other day, we win that game going away. The 49ers were depleted. We should have handled them easier, but sometimes weird things happen in divisional games. Sometimes you get a bad bounce or two. The important thing is how we've responded, how we've dominated since then, how we've shown that loss was an aberration, not a trend. Looking at the rest of the schedule and where we're positioned right now, there's every reason to believe we can make a deep playoff run. We can win the NFC West. We can secure home field advantage. We can make another Super Bowl push. All of it is on the table because we have Matthew Stafford playing at an MVP level and a roster that's built to win now. The defense is playing outstanding football. The coaching staff has this team prepared every single week. The culture is championship level. Everything is pointing towards something special happening this season. For everyone who doubted whether Stafford could still play at an elite level at his age, for everyone who thought he was washed, for everyone who said his best days were behind him, this season is the ultimate response. This is him showing the entire league what he's still capable of when he's healthy and surrounded by the right pieces. 37 years old and playing like he's in his prime. That's a testament to his preparation, his work ethic, his football IQ, his natural talent, all of it coming together at exactly the right time. The MVP race is obviously going to be competitive all season long. There are other great quarterbacks putting up big numbers, but right now through 7 weeks, Matthew Stafford has the best case of anyone. He's got the touchdown, he's got the efficiency, he's got the wins, he's got the narrative of finally getting recognition after years of being underappreciated. He checks every box that MVP voters look for, whether he ultimately wins it or not. Just being in this conversation is huge for his legacy and massive for our championship aspiration. Rams fam, don't take this for granted. Don't assume we'll always have a quarterback this good. Don't sleep on what we're witnessing, because quarterback play like this is rare. It's precious. It's the foundation of everything we're trying to accomplish. This season, Stafford is healthy, motivated, playing with confidence and swagger. And he's got that Super Bowl experience that tells him exactly what it takes to win it all. That's the kind of leader you ride with into battle. That's the kind of quarterback who can deliver when everything is on the line. The relationship between Stafford and McVay continues to be the heartbeat of this entire operation. They trust each other completely. They challenge each other. They push each other to be better. And after 5 years, Together, they're operating at a level of synchronicity that's almost telepathic. McVay knows how to put Stafford in positions to succeed. Stafford knows how to execute the game plan to perfection. It's a beautiful partnership, and we're the lucky ones who get to watch it unfold every Sunday. So here's what we need to do moving forward. We need to keep supporting this team. We need to pack the stadium. We need to make SoFi the toughest place to play in the entire NFL. We need to give Stafford and this offense the energy they deserve, because they're putting on a show every single week. The MVP race is just getting started, and our guy is leading the pack. Let's make sure everyone knows that Matthew Stafford is our quarterback, and we're riding with him all the way to another champion. This is Matthew Stafford's moment. This is his time. This is when all those years of grinding in Detroit finally pay off with the ultimate individual recognition. This is when the national media has no choice but to acknowledge what we've known all along. He's one of the best quarterbacks of his generation, and he's proving it right now on the biggest stage. 17 touchdowns in 7 games, leading a Super Bowl contender, playing the best football of his career at 37. This is the stuff legends are made of. Rams Nation. Name, cited: Matthew Stafford, Davante Adams, Sean McVay, Puka Nacua, Mike LaFleur, Calvin Johnson, Lamar Jackson, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Kyron Williams. Summary: Matthew Stafford is leading the NFL with 17 touchdown passes through 7 games, putting him in the MVP race for the first time in his 17-year career. Despite being the 9th leading passer in NFL history, Stafford has only finished in the top 10 of MVP voting once before. At 37 years old, he's playing the best football of his career, with a 109.3 passer rating, leading the 5-2 Rams, who are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. His chemistry with receivers like Davante Adams and Puka Nacua, combined with his mastery of Sean McVay's system, has the offense firing on all cylinders heading into the bye week. If you loved this breakdown of Stafford's MVP season, smash that subscribe button and hit the like so you never miss our Rams coverage. Now here's the question. Do you think Matthew Stafford will actually win the MVP this season? Drop in the comments. A. Yes, he's finishing as MVP. Or B. Top 5 finish, but someone else wins it.